Here is the 3-minute ad break now. All right, well, let's get started.
It's pretty much seen the allegations and everything against Rich. If you haven't, I would suggest to just check our Twitter. And, you know, we've obviously addressed this ourselves. This came to our attention yesterday, and as soon as we pretty much found out and, you know, looked into it and saw what was going on, we had Rich resign from the org, and Rich is no longer a part of OTK, effective yesterday.
Wait, I gotta bring this up. After Avatar was released, he was approached by indigenous tribes that appreciated how his film helped capture their plight in such a large scale, and then James Cameron went on a tour to be a spokesperson for them to help advocate for their causes for a while. He said he decided to make the new Avatar movies to bring in a larger audience in regards to that, also probably to make some money to support those groups as well. I mean, yeah, he's like a big environmental conservationist liberal too, so there's that element of James Cameron. So... And he also does, like, you know, cool shit. Okay, let's move on from that. That's the last take on it. Rimmers, thank you for the 5 get the subs.
The reason I'm going to be talking about it, probably more than anybody else that is in the that's in the org, is because the truth is, Rich, like he said, was, you know, my friend, and I want to talk about it on a personal level, and I want to say a couple of things that I've just really got to say something about.
Who the fuck is Rich and what did he do? He may or may not have, well, it seems pretty likely that he raped his ex-girlfriend. But I do love that you just have no idea, which is great. I mean, you're a normal person, and you know, it's normal to be a normal person. Most people don't know, but because we're on this platform, we're on Twitch, and Rich is a Twitch streamer. Every single person is demanding that I address this stuff, which I did yesterday. But
so, I mean, it was a big shock to me. I think it was a shock to everybody. It's hard for me to process what's been going on. And I understand that for a lot of people, you all who might have been fans of Rich or Allcraft, you might have felt that way too. I want to say one thing, though, before I go any further.
Asman said it was impossible for Bethesda execs to not know about the sexual assault stuff, so it was kind of wild for him to claim he didn't know about Rich. Bro, what do you mean? You think Rich was fucking... It's not like Rich was sexually assaulting members inside of OTK. If that was happening, he would have known about it. Like, what? Again, man does not leave his house. And you can probably tell.
Farther. You are not on our team. You are not helping us. You are not doing us any favors or doing anyone any favors by calling a girl that comes out and tells this kind of a story a liar. I read a lot of the comments on Twitter, etc. And I saw a lot of people that were saying that it wasn't true, that she's making everything up. Please do not do that. This is... You are not our fan. You're not on our side. We are on their side. That's why Rich is gone. Do not do this. I understand trust but verify. Makes sense. Everybody deserves to get their side of the story out. But whenever you just automatically discredit one side, you're not looking for two sides. You're looking for the other side. Please do not do that. And call yourself a fan of mine or anybody in the org. The second thing I want to say is that if anybody is in any way responsible for this, it's me. I knew Rich more than anybody else, and because of that, If you have any, if you feel like you've been betrayed, and you,
dude, this is like, God, Twitch is the worst medium to address things like this, because like half of his chat is like defending Rich and attacking Asmongold and saying like, oh, you threw him under the bus. I'm like looking at his chat, and then there's like other people in this chat that are like, oh, well, you definitely knew about it. Fuck you. You're a piece of shit.
you've been led to believe something that's
It's
not
just
true.
like the worst.
Please don't take.
But you'll watch it for views. I mean, if it were up to me, I would avoid it entirely. But, you know, one, it is a big deal. And two, have you been on this fucking platform before? Like, is this the first time you've been here? Oh, it is. You're you're a sock account. Okay, you just came in here to talk shit today. No, this is not for views, quote unquote. Like I literally yesterday was like, I'll get to it when it was developing, and people were getting upset at me for not covering it immediately. Yeah, this motherfucker created a sock in 2020, is just holding on to it. Yeah, it's not even in my title. I didn't think that I would be talking about this
Take
today
this
because I
out
talked
on
about it
any
yesterday.
of the other people in our org, any of our employees, any of the people that we work with. Let me tank it. Direct your hate at me. And the third thing I want to say is that I read everything. I also know a few other things as well. This is not drama. This is not getting canceled. These are crimes. I don't want people to go in and call this is drama. It's not fucking drama. This is serious. It is as serious as it gets. I took action as soon as I could. And I don't know. Just fucking sucks, man. Fucking sucks. I don't even want to talk about how it's made me feel, because I think that takes attention away from the actual people who are the victims here. It'll take me a while to get over this, but I will get over it. I learned last year that I can get through anything. It doesn't matter. I can take it. I can deal with it. So if you want to give somebody support, give the people who are brave enough to come out and tell their story whenever they're being attacked by people who think that they're doing me or somebody else a favor. Please do not do that.
What's up with the Renaissance music? I don't know. Asmongold.
I don't know what else I can do. If there's anything that you guys would like to see me do, I'm open for suggestions. I feel there's a part of me that feels a genuine sense of guilt. And I'd like to do something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I can do. But
I'm glad the real victim of Rich Campbell's actions is sharing her story. Well, first of all, she did, but like, you know, what is he supposed to do? He's like one of the fucking founders of the organization, and he knows the dude. Like, is he not supposed to say something? Like, why are you guys getting mad at Asmongold for like unironically putting forward a decent fucking take? Not like, not only is he not immediately siding with his friend, okay, you might say that that's like bottom of the fucking barrel behavior, but like for especially gamers, okay, in general, that's usually what it used to be like. But not only has he not done that, but he's also even addressing people in his own fan base that are behaving in this fucking insane fashion. Like, he's doing basically the best he can do in this circumstance. You know what I mean? I think. Maybe I'm wrong. And I mean, I ripped into him yesterday about like what he was saying about Nadia. You know what I mean? I don't always agree with him, but I think I Like, this is the fairest assessment in that circumstance. You know what I mean? I criticized him yesterday. Like, literally yesterday, I criticized his takes. When he has a bad take, I openly state it. But if he has a good take, I'm going to state that as well.
That's what's been going on. And, you know, you have a situation like this and you go through every message, every interaction you have, and you always wonder, like, maybe, like, maybe should I have known something different, or should I have, you know, been able to, like, perceive some sort of thing? And there's just a lot of things that go through my head. And I'm going to be a bit shook for this for a while. But I thought that it was right for me to come out and address this directly to you guys and to our fans and viewers and everything. And just echo what, you know, we said in our statement, is that we share in your disappointment.
It seems very clear this happened because of a culture within the org culture that is as much symptoms of misogyny and sexism as we saw yesterday. My friend, this is just every org, though. Like, I think this is just every space. I talked about this yesterday extensively. It's not like just OTK. People were asking, like, why does this keep happening in Twitch? And it's like, you think it's only happening in, like, specific organizations or Twitch because you think it's, like, because that's what you see, okay? Because you're on Twitch, so that's all you see. This happens literally everywhere. It's kind of a fundamental point that women try to make about patriarchy, about rape culture, about not having their concerns be addressed. It's literally, it happens everywhere all the time. Constantly, you know, and this is not even something that I need to. It's mostly probably dudes who are saying, like, "Oh man, this seems like a OTK thing." It's like, no, it's literally an everywhere thing. Okay, it's an everywhere thing because it's like a fundamental part of our existence. Like, it's perhaps the worst possible scenario because, like, at its core, interpersonal relationships are difficult to discern, okay? If you're going to look at this without even addressing patriarchy from the jump, even if patriarchy did not exist, which it very certainly does, and fuels this kind of attitude and fuels this kind of behavior and fuels this kind of shit happening all the goddamn time, even if it didn't exist, okay, in a different planet, in a different universe, interpersonal relationships are already, that dynamic between a man and a woman is already deeply complicated, and especially when feelings are involved, there's so much that occurs that makes this hard to really address and put, like, straightforward rules on. But there are some straightforward rules, right? No means no. That's it. You know, consent is profoundly important. Okay? So on top of that, though, not only is the interpersonal relationships and, like, trying to assess that and, like, constantly being afraid of, like, doing the wrong thing and maybe even, like, overcorrecting as a consequence of that and, like, portraying yourself in a certain way, especially when society is telling you to behave a certain way, and all the social conditioning that comes along with that as a man, and all the social conditioning that comes along with women being told to shut the fuck up in every circumstance, and telling women that they should not actually, go after their own desires, and all this other shit that is built into our core, into our very existence from the jump, that fuels what is known as rape culture, or what is known as, like, what basically is the reason why women all have a story. Okay? Like, every woman you know has a story. Every woman you know at least knows someone else that has a story. Predatory behavior is not as uncommon as people will make it seem. And part of it is literally because, like I said, the dynamic is confusing and frustrating, and there's no, like, real way to describe it to people. There's no, like, clear-cut boundaries. You can only make certain boundaries, but even those boundaries will be crossed in certain instances. It's like the thought pattern of like, what if your girlfriend and you are both drunk? Like, neither of you can technically consent. Like, there are so many instances where like you don't even think about it. You know what I mean? Like, would that be considered rape? Like that's an interpersonal dynamic that you can't always 100% make a fair assessment from on the outside. And debate lords will usually use that as an opportunity to just like kind of fucking peer into it and unwind the whole thing. But there are instances where like feels is how you can or vibes is how you can make a better assessment. I'm not talking about like bad faith debate perverts here though. But most importantly, the main factor of consideration here is how people are educated on how women should be behaving and how men should be behaving. Okay? And how that is so consistently reinforced in every facet of society. Okay? That's the main problem here. And that is precisely why it happens everywhere.
It sucks. Again, Rich is completely out of the org. That's it. Yep. I'm pretty sure I feel like I've
Okay, why should I believe without the evidence first? I mean, if you're asking a question like this, that either implies that you haven't looked into it at all, okay, because there is plenty of evidence, or you have looked into it and no amount of evidence matters because you just want to fucking deny it. That's it. Like, it's got to be bait, right? I mean, we covered it yesterday. It's pretty obvious, like, not that there needs to be like that level of evidence, okay? Not that like someone's testimony, someone's personal experience is not enough, but like this person went above and beyond, okay? Not only did they come out against all negative consequences, they came out with receipts, okay? Like, that's crazy. Even in a situation like this, if you're like desperate to, if you're desperate to like find some alternative, it just means like, it means that you're basically, doing victim blaming in this circumstance.
I've said everything that I've wanted to say. Again, two things.
One other thing I gotta, of course, always repeat, as I repeat time and time again: believe all women does not mean believe women unconditionally, that women are Abe Lincoln, women are Shakira's hips, they simply cannot tell a lie. Believe all women just simply means do not reflexively disbelieve women, because currently, as it stands, most people's automatic presumptions is that women are fucking lying, okay? And that was at the heart of the Me Too movement, which, of course, went into a million different directions, some of which were awful and gross. Let's be fucking real. Some of which were immediately captured by Hollywood liberals who themselves were also involved in covering up rape and shit, but basically weaponizing and marketing the Me Too movement, okay?
I want to just reiterate one more time, is that if you go and you are messaging these girls, trying to cast aspersions, cast a shadow of doubt, and make them feel bad for coming forward with what their story is, you are not our fan. You're not my fan. You're not doing us any favors. You're not on our team. You're not helping us. You're not helping anyone. Do not do that. If I see people doing that in my chat, I will ban them. I think everybody should do the same.
Absolutely disbelieve all women to the
Also,
point of looking into things.
Again, OTK has a lot of employees. We have other people like, like our other talent that are on the org too, streamers. They know nothing about this. They have nothing to do with this. Even other owners. If you feel like shit, like something wrong, bring it to me. Bring it to me directly. And yeah, let me tank it. I can deal with it. And so
I think one of the funniest things in this like otherwise very sad instance is that people will oftentimes literally point to the main problem and its consequences as a way to further that problem. What I mean by that is this. People will be like, if this happened, why didn't she go to the police? Why is Rich not arrested? I wonder why. Well, it's literally the same reason, because when women come out, okay, they get fucking destroyed. That's number one. So that stops women from coming out. Number two, when they do come out, even if they immediately go out, oftentimes they don't even have their shit tested. There's a major rape kit backlog problem in this fucking country. All of those are literally the reason, like those are the things that we talk about when we talk about the patriarchal system, okay? That's it. Cops are fucking notoriously awful at dealing with sexual assault and rape cases, okay? So there's that reality. So that is a consequence of the patriarchal construct that we live in. So when you say, well, why didn't this happen already? Why didn't she come out earlier? Or why didn't she go to the police? You are already like doing the victim blaming thing and simultaneously reinforcing the very same patriarchal constructs that set this setting to begin with. Also, I mean, not a lot of people have been doing that because like even Rich himself has not done that, which makes it additionally weirder because like at that point, you're not even a fan of like Rich Campbell. You're just like a fan of saying people that were raped were not raped. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, dog, you don't understand. I'm riding against women across the board. You know what I mean? Like, it's always weird when people, when the perpetrator will admit something and then you still see people go, nah, I don't give a fuck what he said. I don't think this happened. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, so you're just a stan of like, what, rape? Or you're just a hater of like victims of rape? Like, what are you doing? It's weird. He's like, nah, man, I'm just a hater of women. Sorry, dog. That's why I'm in here.
I encourage any of the people that were affected by Rich and any of these things to seriously consider legal recourse. And of course, if that happens, I will comply in any way I can, limited as it may be. Again, this is not drama. These could be actual crimes. So, I think that's about all I have to say. I'm going to be honest. I think that's about it.
All right. I think he did a really good job, and I mean, best as he could in this circumstance. All right. We're gonna move on from that. I don't think there's anything else going on here, right? That we haven't seen or we haven't covered yet. OTV is moving back in together. That's some good news. Does anyone have the OG video? Does anyone have the big video, the original video? I want to watch that. That's fun. That's like, watch the dancing clip. Offline TV broke up.